Good afternoon. I'm Chris Scherer, Member Communications Director of the Society of Broadcast Engineers. Welcome to the July 2023 SBE WEBxtra, the SBE chapter of the web. This is a monthly SBE meeting, usually held on the third Monday of the month. The SBE is the Association for Broadcast and Multimedia Technology Professionals with more than 4,500 members, mostly in the U.S., but also around the world. Today's SBE WEBxtra is a chance for you to meet the candidates in the current SBE election of officers and directors. The ballots for the current election were mailed or emailed to SBE members on July 14. I'll get into more details of the SBE election shortly, but first, I have your SBE member update for July 17, 2023. There are lots of upcoming webinars by SBE on the calendar. On June 29, a new 4-part series began. It's called Basic RF for IT. The course is designed for newer engineers who may come from an IT or non-technical background and need some training on the theory and components involved in generating radio frequency signals, as well as the principles involved with respect to maintaining and optimizing operation. Jeff Welton of Nautel and Gary Cavell of Cavell Mertz & Associates are the instructors. Module 1 is now available on demand. Module 2 of the series streams on July 20. Module 3 streams live on August 31, and Module 4 streams live on September 21. On August 17, Ben Barber, President and CEO of Innovonics, teaches HD radio monitoring, what has been done and what can be done with modern monitoring equipment. The webinar will discuss best practices for connecting HD radio equipment, along with describing the advancements in HD radio monitoring. Also, you can always access the entire library of webinars by SBE presentations on demand. For information on these and all the webinars by SBE, go to sbe.org/webinars. The next chapter exam window is in August. The application date for those exams is closed, and after that there's a local chapter exam window in November. The application deadline for that is September 8. If you don't want to wait, or if local chapter exams are just not convenient for you or not possible for some reason, private proctoring is available. More information on SBE certification is online at sbe.org/certification. On the regulatory side, the FCC has a docket titled Expanding Use of the 12.7 to 13.25 GHz band for mobile broadband and other expanded use. The FCC has proposed repack and/or relocation of broadcast and other existing authorizations in the 12.7 to 13.25 GHz band. A forthcoming certification deadline for existing incumbent and broadcast licensees operating under Part 74 is outlined as part of this proceeding, but the FCC has not yet set the actual deadline by which such certifications must be filed. Accordingly, the SBE does not yet know when the FCC will require licensees to file such certifications, or, well, that date, as well as the requirements for making such certifications, will be communicated to licensees. The SBE notes that it is imperative that stations verify all license data in the FCC's Universal Licensing System, the ULS, related to the 13 GHz broadcast auxiliary services licenses as soon as possible. In addition, if you are currently using 13 GHz for ENG, not fixed links, please send an email to RJ Russell outlining the licensing call sign and designated market area. You can email him at rjrussell@sbe.org. Go to the SBE News and Headlines on the SBE website for more information. And that's your SBE member update for July 17, 2023. This edition of the SBE WEBxtra is a little different because we're going to hear from 13 different people. The SBE exists because of the volunteer efforts of members like you at the local and national level. We're going to meet the candidates in the current SBE election. The candidates' names and some information is included in the signal on the SBE website and in the voting materials sent to each member. Today we'll hear from all the candidates so you can get to know each one better. Each year, the SBE Nominations Committee assembles a group of capable members from all corners of the field of broadcast engineering to run and serve if elected. All candidates for national office are either regular, senior, or life members of the SBE, or are the designated representative of an SBE sustaining member, and in good member standing. All candidates must hold current SBE engineering level certification and are required to maintain that certification through all terms of office. All elected directors serve in an at-large capacity. Each year, the Nominations Committee begins work in February and concludes by the end of April to compile a slate of candidates for the upcoming election. SBE members in good standing who want to run for a director or officer position should contact the Nominations Committee chair. Nominations can also be made from the general membership. For 1 month, beginning in July, the election for the National Board of Directors will take place. Most SBE members receive their unique ballots by email and cast their ballots online. Some members, those without an email address or those who chose to opt out of online voting, receive a paper ballot. For 2023, all votes are due on August 15. An election board of tellers reviews the tallied results to certify the election. Those elected will be inducted into office during the SBE National Meeting held in the fall. To be eligible, the individual must be a member in good standing and hold an SBE engineering level certification throughout the election and elected term. Any voting member in good standing, by letter to the SBE Secretary not less than 45 days prior to the election date, may propose and nominate a candidate, and the name of any eligible candidates so proposed by 10 members or more shall be entered on the ballot. All candidates for officer or director, whether proposed by the Nominations Committee or nominated by a voting member, shall meet the candidacy requirements no later than 45 days prior to the election date, July 1, 2023, this year. There are term limits for officers and directors. Officers serve 1-year terms, that's the President, Vice President, Secretary, and Treasurer. Directors serve 2-year terms. There are 12 directors and half of them are elected every year. Directors may serve up to 3 consecutive terms. The President and Vice President may serve up to 2 consecutive terms. The Secretary and Treasurer may serve up to 4 consecutive terms. One person may serve up to 10 consecutive years in elected office. So let's meet the candidates for the 2023 SBE election. Each candidate submitted a video and was allowed up to 4 minutes to say whatever he or she wanted. It was suggested each candidate mention his or her current job title and employer, provide info about the professional background in broadcasting, note any distinguishing honors, and then outline the goals and why the person is a candidate. Here are the candidates for the officer positions. Ted Hand, President. Kevin Trueblood, Vice President. Jason Ornelas, Treasurer. And Gary Morrell, Secretary. To begin, here's Ted Hand, candidate for President.
Hello, my name is Ted Hand, and I'm a candidate for Society's president for the coming year. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm a member of Chapter 45. I've been a certified member of SBE since 1981. I'm honored to be an SBE Fellow. I've achieved the following certifications: Life CPBE, 8 VSB, ATSC3, AMD, and DRB. In the 42 years of being a member of SBE, I've been on the board of directors for 6 terms. I've been your secretary for 5 terms, I was treasurer for 2 terms, and I'm currently the Society's vice president. I am employed as the Director of Engineering and Operations for WSOC and WAXN located in Charlotte. In 2015, I was selected as the Cox Television Engineer of the Year. I obtained my degree in the Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering Technology from Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. While in Norfolk, I have worked at WTVZ, WAVY, WGNT, and WTKR. I also worked at WRAL in Raleigh. While I'm not working at the station or transmitter, I work in Charlotte. I'm a member of Charlotte in the Mecklenburg County Amateur Radio Club with the extra class call W9SOC. I also enjoy woodworking and fishing on the beautiful Outer Banks of North Carolina. If elected president, I will continue to push forward on certification and our education and mentoring programs, and I would like to expand the certification to additional subjects and items. In these days that we work in broadcasting, we are asked to do more, often with less. And these are trying times, so education is more important than ever. While I was a member of the board of directors, I made the motion that we go from paper ballots to electronic voting. It saved the society money, and it made it easier for membership to vote. I hope you take the time this year to vote for officers and directors, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Here's Kevin Trueblood, candidate for vice president.
Hi, I'm Kevin Trueblood. I'm a candidate for vice president for the Society of Broadcast Engineers. I'm currently the associate general manager for technology and operations of WGCU Public Media based in Fort Myers, Florida. I'm also the president of K-True Media Services, offering contract engineering work for a handful of clients here in Southwest Florida. I'm currently in my 26th year in broadcasting. It is really the only career that I've ever chose. I started when I was still in high school, and I don't think I could ever imagine myself doing anything different. I started as an on-air announcer, worked my way up to operations manager and program director, and began as an engineer full-time back in 2007. And in 2008, that's when I joined the SBE and got my first certification. Since then, I've been very active with the SBE, both as chapter chair of our local chapters, 2 different local chapters actually, and then later on in 2017, being elected to the board of directors. In 2019, I was appointed as secretary and have been part of the executive committee as well as an officer ever since then, first as secretary and now as treasurer. Being part of the SBE has been a big honor to me, and giving back to the organization, I think, is a crucial thing for something that has given so much to me personally. I know my career has benefited tremendously, going to local meetings and going to events, even the national meetings, things like that. I've learned a lot of people, gained a lot of connections, and my certifications as well have certainly made an impact on my career. So to that end, that's why I'm looking to be part of the leadership with the SBE, because I want to continue giving back and helping provide leadership to an organization that I know is vital not only to my career, but to so many others. And so that's why I'd appreciate your vote as you look through the ballots, because, going forward, I would love to make sure that you are getting the maximum value out of your membership, that you are getting the educational opportunities that'll serve your career, as well as looking towards the future as we see our medium change, with the medium actually changing to more digital world, and the skill set that goes with that being updated almost every day. We want to make sure the organization is up to date and is including people that are doing that kind of work as well. I want to see us being more active online and more digital offerings to supplement both local meetings and in-person gatherings. So I'd love to be able to see that through in the coming months and, years with the SBE. So I thank you so much for your time, and I'd appreciate your vote, and I look forward to giving back to the SBE.
Here's Jason Ornelas, candidate for treasurer.
I'm Jason Ornelas, and I'm currently serving the Society of Broadcast Engineers as the secretary. I'm up for election to become the treasurer of SBE, and I look forward to serving you again, our great members. In my current role, I am the Regional Director of Technology for Bonneville International Corporation, overseeing the West Coast markets and assisting in the Intermountain region when needed. My role is to help standardize our audio and distribution platforms, as well as train and assist our chief engineers and support staff in the markets. I've worked on various East Coast and West Coast markets and been part of numerous projects from the studios to towers and everything in between. I was awarded the 2020-2021 Excellence in Engineering by Radio World for numerous facility builds and helping push the industry forward. I am a member of the NAB Radio Tech Committee, and I chair the PPM subgroup committee of the Next Gen Radio Architecture, and also a regular contributor to radio engineering publications and continuously present at various conferences. I've been an SBE member since 2008. During that time, I've served on the National Board of Directors twice, as well as served on several national committees. I've held officer positions in various local chapters in New York and Sacramento. In addition, I am certified by the Society of Broadcast Engineers as a CBRE Certified Broadcast Radio Engineer. I'm also a member of the AES Society. Thanks for your time, and I hope I can serve you again this upcoming year.
Here's Gary Morrell, candidate for secretary.
Hi, I'm Gary Morrell. I'm on your 2023 SBE ballot, running for the office of secretary. I serve as a regional director of engineering for the Midwest region of Alpha Media, where I support the efforts of our technical team in 24 markets. I've been with the SBE since the formation of Central Michigan Chapter 91 in the mid-'80s. and I served as vice chair and chair of that chapter. At present, I serve as the chapter certification chairman, as well as being involved with the Michigan Association of Broadcasters on their engineering and conference committees. The MAB recognized me with their Carl E. Lee Broadcast Engineering Excellence Award in 2014. Several years ago, a couple of our alpha markets wanted to hire engineers relatively new to the profession. They exhibited technical interest and aptitude. I felt I could support them by combining elements from several SBE programs to help get them up to speed as net contributors, and by serving as a mentor to them. This effort proved fruitful, and they're still with us. I've always had an interest in helping others learn and gain proficiency, whether at a professional level or in volunteer roles like my time serving as training chairman in 2 different Boy Scout councils here in Michigan. I suppose it was this desire to help others that prompted me to throw my hat in the ring for a seat on our board of directors. Thanks to the support of our voting members, I've been privileged to serve on the board for 2 consecutive terms and have chaired our education committee over that time as well. One of my goals within the society was working with the many standing committees to fashion a training program for new entrants to broadcast engineering, much the same as what I piloted at Alpha. What we now know as our Technical Professional Training Program, or TPT for short, was the result of this shared effort. I'm pleased to say it's been accepted and supported by several state broadcast associations that have provided scholarships to the TPT program on behalf of their member stations' employees. The recruitment of new engineers to our profession is a common concern across all levels in the industry, and I believe the society can be a positive influence in this quest. It can also serve to grow our membership, which has been challenged by the aging out of many members and former members. By spearheading outreach programs in areas we're not currently reaching, I believe we can establish SBE as a sustaining resource to station ownership and state broadcast associations, as well as our current membership. We're at an interesting time in our industry as the lines between traditional broadcasting and other media forms are blurring. This can be both a challenge and a blessing. It will require being open to see new opportunities that need skilled technical staff and then developing the training and support to prepare our membership to be contributors. It's also vitally critical to continue our efforts to protect against the continual encroachment of the very spectrum we use to deliver our products to consumers. I believe we can enjoy a healthy future by focusing on these initiatives, and I feel I'm up to the challenge of helping to influence our direction going forward. And I would truly appreciate your support to allow me to do so. Thank you.
And that's the slate for officer candidates. There are 9 candidates running for 6 open director seats. The candidates are Isaiah Chavez, Terry Dowds, Brad Humphreys, Julieta Ibisheva, Jeff Juniette, Charles Ched Kyler, Dave Reitner, Christian Vang, and Jeff Welton. We'll meet them in reverse alphabetical order by last name. First is Jeff Welton.
Hi, I'm Jeff Welton, Regional Sales Manager for the Central U.S. for Nautel. I've been with Nautel since 1990, late in the year, but now I'm pushing 33 years with the same company, which I guess in this industry makes me a little bit of an anomaly, but there you have it. The first 16 and a half years at Nautel were spent doing field service, so I was the guy taking the calls in the middle of the night or crawling through the transmitters at 3 in the morning. Writing the field updates, installing the field updates, doing the HD radio modifications, doing the field repairs again. Mentioned that twice because there was probably twice as much of it. Proofreading manuals and all that great stuff. So that's where my background came from. I've spent a lot of time teaching training courses. Since then, I do a pile of educational webinars. I've been fortunate. Nautel's pretty much given me the freedom to pick the things that I think will be of value to the industry and to our customers and just sort of let me run with it. And so there have been a lot of educational webinars. Done several SBE webinars. I'm on the education committee for, I guess, a little over a year now. And that's probably going to be one of my primary topics to focus on would be education. We all make the joke that our kids are able to program the VCR better than we are able to. And of course, I'm dating myself by referencing the VCR, but that's a pretty good point of where I'm going with this. As we see our older generation graying out and slowly starting to retire and move out of the industry, we're not seeing as many young folks coming in. And this was something that John Perret mentioned, 15 years ago almost, in a presentation at the NAB, talking about the graying out of the industry. And that trend has continued. We're seeing the average age increase as we have fewer younger people coming in. So I really want to get some focus on two things. Number one, helping to attract some of the younger people to what is absolutely a very mature industry and very much changing. It may not be in 20 years that they're doing a whole lot of transmitter repair. It may be 100% streaming. But in the interim, we've still got a lot of big AC to RF converters, and we need to come up with a lot more course material and training material to teach folks how to work on that stuff safely and efficiently. And so that would be one of the primary areas of focus. The other one is trying to keep the organization relevant to the younger generations. And that's a little challenge because the younger folks, they think about things differently. They react to things differently. I think we need to focus a little on our social media. We need to just sort of, I hesitate to say modernize, but in a lot of cases, that's probably where I'm going with that. It's only been the past 5 or 10 years that the questions about tape splicing came off the CERT preview tests. So, that's a prime example right there. It's been a lot of years since we've rolled tape on a regular basis. And, that's one of the things that I think, need to get a little more proactive about. So in a nutshell, that's my two primary, I guess, topics, the things that I tend to focus on: education and getting things current. So that's all. I thank you very much for your time and hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye now.
Here's Christian Vang.
Good morning. My name is Christian Vang. I'm one of the nominees for the board of directors for the Society of Broadcast Engineers. I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you a little bit about myself and also what I believe I can bring to the board. First off, I grew up in broadcasting. I started when I was 15 years old and learned to love engineering. I always had a knack for the electronics. Later went to school to learn how to be a better thinker and learn how to be a more well-rounded person, as well as a better engineer. And then furthered my education on beyond that to even become an expert in my field. I've been really lucky through the years to have some great work opportunities with some amazing companies and some amazing mentors and amazing bosses along the way who've helped to really grow my skills and to help me become the engineer I am today, some decades later from when I started. As far as the Society of Broadcast Engineers goes, I feel like the primary role of the Society of Broadcast Engineers is sort of dual-pronged. First, it's an advocacy organization. One, to advocate for broadcast engineers and technicians, not only in the world of salary, but also in education and certification. There's really not another certifying body for people who do the type of work that a broadcast engineer does. And so the SBE really forms, I think, a foundational layer of legitimizing the profession of broadcasting, or broadcast engineering, more precisely. Further to that, I think that advocacy has to come with education and certification. At this point in time, I think it goes without saying that there is obviously a need in the industry for well-rounded professionals to come in and do the broadcast engineering jobs of tomorrow. It also, contributing to that, the technology has really evolved and continues to evolve. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, we were still dealing with reel-to-reels and cart machines. Although they were on their way out, we fast forward to today where everything is IP-based, everything is based on computers. And that's going to continue to evolve and change. And I really feel like the Society of Broadcast Engineers is there to form an educational bridge for both skills-based and knowledge-based education. Through the certification program, I think we have the opportunity to recruit young people who would want to come into the profession, but also to give people who are in the profession, who are established in the profession, a credential that means something. So I appreciate you taking a moment of your day to spend with me. Have a great day.
This is Dave Reitner.
Hi, my name is Dave Reitner. I'm Chief Engineer of Salem Media here in Seattle, Washington, for 4 AM radio stations. I've been a Chief Engineer for over 40 years in AM, FM, and TV. And I'm currently on the Board of Directors, the National Board of Directors for SBE, and I'm running to keep my job and be on the board for another 2 years. I've been on the board currently now for 2 years. One of the things that I would like to do in my second term, if you will, is if we could try to get 15 to 20 new members in the overall SBE membership across all of the chapters that make up the SBE. I would also like to keep dues at the current level if possible to ease the financial burden on the membership. In addition, I have been the past president of the Seattle chapter for 4 different years and active with the chapter since the 1980s. I also won the 1986 TV Engineer of the Year Award for the Seattle area. I'm currently the Chief Engineer for 4 AM stations in the Seattle market with the Salem Media Seattle. Please vote for me. Thank you.
Here's Charles Ched Kyler.
Greetings. My name is Ched Kyler, and I am running for the Board of Directors position for the Society of Broadcast Engineers to represent you, my fellow broadcast engineer. I am a member of SBE Chapter 53 in South Florida and also serve on the local board for Chapter 53. I am also active within the broadcast coordination body of our organization. I currently work for E3 Services and WPLG in South Florida and have worked for HC2, ISC, Ion Media Networks, Paxson Communications, which together are now part of the broadcasting arm of Scripps, Reach Communications, and South Florida PBS, among other broadcast radio and television facilities throughout the United States. For more than 20 years, I have been an active member within SBE. I have also been involved in broadcasting for more than 35 years. I hold a number of SBE certifications as well as other certifications from various organizations. I also have served with other organizations such as the National Translator Association, for which I was previously vice president of that organization, the Association of Federal Communications Consulting Engineers, SMPTE, IEEE BTS, and AXFIA, which is also related to Infocom. I am currently serving on the board of directors of SBE and am the chairman of the Government Relations Committee and other committees. The Government Relations Committee has moved forward on many initiatives to protect the broadcast industry and to protect the role of the broadcast engineer. We are moving forward with educational programs to better enhance the role of the broadcast engineer within the industry. The Society of Broadcast Engineers serves an important role within the broadcast industry. We need to continue to encourage other professionals to become members of our organization, encourage content developers and IT professionals to engage with us, embrace new technologies, educate and inform on legislative issues and frequency coordination issues. SBE needs to keep members current with the dynamics within the broadcast industry. During my term on the board, we have undertaken aggressive roles and with legislative goals and educational and frequency coordination goals. I would continue to further these efforts and search out new strategies engaging other professionals in our industry. I appreciate your support in our continued effort to improve our organization and our industry. Thank you very much.
Next is Jeff Juniette.
Hi, I'm Jeff Juniette. I'm the Director of Engineering for WFTV and WRDQ in Orlando, Florida. I've been a broadcast engineer for over 27 years, and I've worked in large and small markets in the TV end of the industry. And I think that's given me a good understanding of the challenges and opportunities of both. I've also worked in the NBA for the Orlando Magic. I really like taking technology and leveraging it to solve problems and find solutions. This is an ever-changing industry. It has a business side. We're always asked to do more with less. Budgets are an item, so finding these solutions to not just save money, but still provide the best product to the viewer or the listener, and be able to grow the capabilities of the people who use the technology, whether it's a master control operator, news reporter, production. Those are always challenging and fun things to do in this business. Some of the highlights that I've had in my career were moving 5 TV stations over to full-time digital broadcast. Additionally, working the 2012 All-Star Game, NBA All-Star Game, was a challenge. Integrating 2 broadcast networks and several foreign network feeds, international feeds, into the infrastructure of the building was quite a challenge and quite a feat, but it worked out very well and was quite a success. My overarching goal as a member of the SBE Board of Directors would be and is the growing the broadcast engineer field. As I've already mentioned, it's a challenge to find people to bring into the business or people who have experience in this business already. So looking and partnering with our other broadcast organizations is a great start, and we should continue to do that. But I also think we should be looking at institutions and organizations outside of broadcast and the traditional audio and video world to find the people who have a passion or maybe don't know that they have a passion. Maybe light that, give a little spark to that passion of, hey, this is something that is new and interesting, and it combines a whole world of technologies, and it's something that people can grow with and help grow. One of the other things that goes hand in hand with finding people to fill the open roles is making sure that management and owners understand what we can offer and how we do what we do. I think some of that has been lost over the years, and it can be beneficial when you start to look at how do we continue this and grow this as a business.
Here's Julieta Ibisheva.
Aloha, my name is Julieta Ibisheva and I'm a broadcast engineer at KPXO Honolulu. I'm originally from Bulgaria, but I moved to Hawaii in 2006. When I was 7, my dream was to work in television, but of course, just like most broadcast engineers, my career started in radio. In 2008, I graduated with a degree in filmmaking and broadcasting and was able to secure my very first television job as a master control operator at Ion Television. A few years and a few degrees later, I was promoted to the first female chief engineer in the entire company. I obtained degrees in RF engineering, wireless engineering, and a master's in diplomacy and military studies. I have worked in many TV stations in Hawaii in different roles, such as operations manager, producer, and news specialist. I believe that those experiences helped me become a better engineer because I had an opportunity to learn all aspects of broadcast operations. I still work on documentaries in my free time and was able to win my very first Telly Award last year. My other hobbies include hiking, scuba diving, running marathons, traveling, cooking, but my most favorite of all is spending time with my little boy. So far, he seems to want to follow in my footsteps as his favorite toys are cables and remote controls, but we shall see. I have served on the SBE board for the last 2 years and it has been such an amazing experience. I have learned so much from my fellow board members and it truly is humbling to be in the presence of such great engineers. One of my goals when I was elected was to revive the Hawaii chapter and to get my fellow engineers together. I'm really happy to report that with the help of the Hawaii Association of Broadcasters, we have been able to accomplish that and our chapter is now active. I'm currently the 5-0 chapter chair and going forward we will hold regular meetings. We have been able to enroll a few new members and we're working on offering membership to students, people who are new to the field, or seasoned engineers who are looking to renew or upgrade their membership. My hope and my goal is to inspire the next generation of broadcast engineers. It would be an honor to serve another term and to continue my small contribution to the field of broadcast engineering. I thank you for your vote. Aloha!
And now, Brad Humphreys.
I'm Brad Humphreys, the Director of Engineering for Beasley Media Group in Charlotte. I've been in the business since 2003, beginning with Infinity and CBS until Beasley acquired us at the end of 2014. I was awarded Engineer of the Year from the local SBE chapter, Chapter 45 here in Charlotte in 2015. And in 2016, I received the Engineer of the Year for Beasley Media Group. I've been an amateur radio operator since the age of 14, and I'm approaching 30 years in the hobby, 28 in December. I'm also the technical coordinator for the South Carolina section of the ARRL, along with being assistant director for the Roanoke division of the American Radio Relay League as well. I've achieved 7-band DXCC, worked all states, worked all zones, worked all states triple play, 3 different modes. That and about $6 at Starbucks get you a cup of coffee. This hobby has been a great passion of mine, and I believe it's helped me get to where I am today in my professional career as well. Much like in the broadcast engineering field, its members are getting a bit older, and we in the profession need to get the next generation of engineers ready and recruited. This is what I would really like to do by serving on the SBE board, by educating and helping people get into engineering departments in our great media companies.
Here's Terry Dowds.
Hello, I'm Terry Dowds, and I'm running as a candidate this year for the SBE Board of Directors. I am currently Broadcast Operations Supervisor here at WOUB Public Media, which is located at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. I've been involved with broadcasting professionally for over 46 years, but it actually goes back earlier through becoming a ham at age 12. My parents were involved with engineering firms. My father is a draftsman and my mother is a corporate secretary for my whole entire life. So it only made sense for me to continue working in engineering as I picked a career field. I graduated in 1979 with a Bachelor of Science in Audio Recording from The Ohio State University, and then received my Master of Science in Engineering Management from the Russ College of Engineering and Technology here at Ohio University in 2010. I began my early work as an audio engineer, earning the first DB award from Downbeat Magazine for Best Engineered Recording by College Students in 1978. I then was nominated for a Best Engineered Recording from NPR for a recording I did of the Brass Band of Columbus in 1988. I then moved into audio for post-production. I went into video editing and then engineering at various post houses before landing my current position in 2005. I worked for many years with former president of the SBE, Richard Farquhar, who introduced me to SBE and its many opportunities. I've been an SBE member since 2006, climbing my way from CBT to CPBE currently, and I have great respect for the SBE certification program. When I was first hired for this job, I was asked if I would be willing to get my SBE certifications, and I took that to heart. I've also been active in other organizations at both the local and national levels. I'm currently a manager of the Ohio SMPTE section, which co-meets with the SBE Chapter 52 in Central Ohio. And I'm vice chair of the Audio Engineering Society's AES Columbus chapter. I was previously a member of the ADCOM of IEEE BTS. I'm a member of ATSC representing PBS on the Audio Ad Hoc Committee, which is known as S42. On the AES technical committees as a member of the Audio Guidelines for Over-the-Top and Video Streaming Committee, and I'm also the chair of the PBS Engineering and Technical Advisory Committee ATSC3 Working Group. My goal in running as a director is to help increase our membership, especially in the youth, that are seriously needed to keep our stations on the air and maintaining proper engineering standards. As we move more and more into the IP infrastructure, we need to inform those with those skill sets that there is a place for them in broadcasting and welcome them into the field. I would also like to encourage young people to become proficient in RF, as this is an art that's often passed from current engineers to newbies, and it will be a big help to all of us moving forward. I'd also like to help promote a liaison between the National AES and the SBE so that we can work together on various standards committees and other things that we would work on between the two groups. I thank you very much for your time in watching this video, and I hope to be able to join the board of directors. Thank you.
Next is Isaiah Chavez.
Hello, I'm Isaiah Chavez, a candidate for the National Director Board here at the Society of Broadcast Engineers. You might be wondering why I picked me to become a director. Well, I'll give you some of my achievements. I've been in radio since I was 18, so I have 16 years of radio experience. I understand what an on-air talent needs on the engineering side and on the managerial side for a long-lasting career in radio. On the flip side, I've been on the television field since I was 20. But at that time, I've received a Vision Award in 2017 for my dedication in my career at the TV station. I started off as an audio operator, and now I'm a broadcast IT engineer for the same company. In addition, I also provide mentorships for employees that want to move on and up in their career. I've been with the Society of Broadcast Engineers since 2014. I'm currently on the membership chair, and I have produced 2 programs for our chapter. What would I like to do for the Society of Broadcast Engineers? I would like to help establish the next generation of engineers to our group. Without adding the next generation, where are we going to be? I don't want to see that happen. I would like for all of us to contact colleges and ask if we could do some sort of presentation of who we are and what can they get from the society. If you have any questions, my email is ichavez@sbe.org. Again, that is Chavez, Chavez, @sbe.org. Hope you have a great day. Thank you very much.
And those are the candidates for the 2023 SBE election. Thanks to the candidates for providing their video introductions. As a reminder, electronic voting links were sent to all SBE members on July 14. Paper ballots were mailed the same day. You must cast your online vote by August 15 by 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have a paper ballot, it must be received at the SBE National Office by 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on August 15th. We'll release the results of the election once all the candidates have been notified, which should be by August 16th. The newly elected will take their positions during the SBE National Meeting, which will be held in Columbus, Ohio on September 27 and 28 during the Midwest Broadcast and Multimedia Technology Conference, presented by the State Broadcast Associations of Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, and Michigan. Thanks for watching the SBE Webxtra, the SBE chapter of the web, from the Society of Broadcast Engineers, the Association for Broadcast and Multimedia Technology Professionals. Thanks again to all the candidates for providing their videos. If you hold SBE certification, viewing the SBE Webxtra qualifies you for 1/2 point in Category G. That's attendance. It's just like attending a local chapter meeting. If you have an idea for a topic or a guest for the SBE Webxtra, send it to webextra@sbe.org. Thanks again for watching. I'm Chris Scherer, SBE Member Communications Director, and we'll see you next month.